What's up, gamers? It's your boy here. Gonna be talking about some Space Station 13. It's a cool game, I think. Maybe you'll think too after this. It was a recreation of my first time playing the game. This little obscure game, set in a space station, in space, and it's described as
Space Station 13 is a top-down role-playing multiplayer video game on the Biome game engine, originally released in 2003. The game is tile-based.
You right? God. I love you too. Oh, baby. But what that really means is that it looks like it was made in MS Paint in like 1999. It kinda was. The gameplay is simple. You're a person on a space station. In space. On the station there are jobs, which there are many, but there's your basics like doctor, engineer, security guard, clown. For this thing, there's a corporate hierarchy. At the bottom are the lowly peasants like you. At the top is a captain like me. During the round, everyone has to do their job and make sure no one dies. Anyway, you have to think about the enemies while all this is going on. The most common one is called a traitor. And what a traitor does, he has objectives like killing someone, stealing an item, but he looks like everyone else and he has a job like everyone else. So really, the paranoia begins when you don't know if the guy next to you, who's like invited you to his family dinner, is going to poison that dinner and kill you. You really don't know. But the real paranoia and tension begins when you hear that in this game, in one of the rounds that lasts like an hour or two in some servers, you only have one life. And if you die from some stupid reason, you have to just spectate as a ghost.
So you can imagine why some people might get a bit tense.
God. Ugh. Anyway, Space Station 13 has a history spanning almost 16 years. Right. Short version is this guy called EXADV1. He made a basic 2D atmospheric engine. He got bored with it, handed it around to a few other people. Year after year, developments got made, implementations, and more people started to play, until it got to where it is today. Now, all while this was going on, this EXADV1 guy had no idea what was happening. He didn't know that it began to get this cult following. And because of his absence, this guy began to get this weird, hidden in shadows, mystery kind of feel to him. No one knew what he was. No one knew who he was. But not anymore, because recently a guy, like 1960 noir style, tracked him down, and he had gotten an interview with him too. And then I got an interview with that guy, which is way better than the creator himself, because this guy has the smoothest voice I've ever heard. It's like silk honey down my ears. I don't know. Did your view of EXADV1 change after you did the interview with him?
I would say that, yeah, my view of EXADV1 did change significantly after I interviewed him. You have to understand that when I sought him out to try to find out how this had all started, how this strange baton passing, this strange torch passing from generation to generation of coder, from code base to code base, from player to player, had all wound back to just one guy creating an atmospheric simulator, essentially. I wanted to find this person, and when I finally did and finally could ask them questions, it's so different. Because you think that they're going to be someone who is all knowledgeable, all knowing, all seeing. Someone who is plugged into everything, who controls everything, but kind of like a Greek god, he created it and walked away. He created it and passed it off to people who would keep it alive. And then moved on to other projects. He still plays, which is fascinating to hear. He still watches and checks in from time to time. But I don't think he knows what to make of it any more than I do, which I find fascinating, but ultimately curious.
Anyway, what do you think about the game in its present state?
I think Space Station 13 is in a very interesting place. Every so often, a larger channel or entity or someone who's very curious or has heard about this game, or roguelikes in general, will lift the rock and kind of put some public scrutiny on it. And this will bring people in, but every time that happens, what the game was changes. It's never the same. So, also there's this weird obsession now with trying to lift the code base into something new and neat, and that's failed quite a few times. And I'm not saying it's doomed to failure. It's something that is going to have to be done well, and by a lot of people, and with the input of the community, which is what made the game in the first place. But I think the game is splitting a bit. The code base is becoming a bit more broad. The population is not the same as it was 10 years ago, and whether or not I can say that is good or bad, time will tell. I've reached the age where I'm somewhat hesitant toward change, even if it is beneficial. I can get fairly curmudgeon-y. But, I believe, I should say, in a bright future for the game. If people can put some petty disagreement aside.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about playing this game?
What would I say to someone who's thinking of playing Space Station 13? One is the answer from if I was in character, and that is move some fucking freight and don't fucking die. Hail Cargonia.
Thank you, Space Dad. Anyway, now that we've talked about its history, let me show you what a real actual round of Space Station 13 is like. Because let me tell you, it's quite the ride. One such round went like this. I joined as an EMT and went round helping people, healing people. And then I saw a clown. He just would not stay still. He throws something, I don't know what it is. I still try to heal him. It then explodes into a swarm of clown zombies of some sort. We get overrun, he dies, I almost die, the guy that tries to help me almost dies. Then, when we're in medbay trying to heal, and we get surrounded, we're trying to fend ourselves off from these beasts. But we win. The short gets here, everyone goes to leave, stepping over clown bodies as they do so. When I'm about to go, I find something on the ground, I'm not sure what it is. I check it out, I press some buttons to see what happens. Turns out it was a bomb. I die, other people die. It's a real mess. But people go, the round ends, life goes on. When the next round comes, same shit happens. Well, not exactly. Now, this next guy, he pretty much makes a living off of doing this sort of thing. He has a popular channel in the community where he posts videos displaying moments like these. His main series of videos have garnered tens of thousands of views.
Okay, let's play this game.
He's become quite good at it, so that's why I'd like him to tell you why you should play it.
Space Station 13 is the only game that I know of where you can become a space wizard who has the ability to turn people into mentally handicapped clowns. Or to be an engineer who can make an extremely dangerous black hole that powers the space station but can also kill everyone in it. My favorite moment in Space Station 13 is when I was playing as a clown and tossed a bunch of banana peels in the hallway to the escape shuttle. It caused people to slip on them, and then unexpectedly a black hole came and they had to try and escape from the black hole, but they kept slipping on my banana peels, so I caused about 20 people to die from that. I started playing in 2011 when my friends told me they were playing as chemists, splashing people with unstable mutagens, and told me they turned a guy black with neon green beard and purple hair who kept having seizures, and that's what got me interested into the game. I used to run a server called Hippie Station 13, but I have since resigned, but it's still currently being managed and ran by other people. Nowadays I do Let's Plays and joke videos relating to Space Station 13.
Anyway, it's a good game. All these people seem to think so. Maybe play it. I don't know. Bye.
Come here, Bobby. I love you too.